My friends, our next speaker is a past Rotary International president and the chairman of the Rotary Foundation, Wilkinson. Wilf is a member of the Rotary Club of Trenton, Ontario, Canada. He is a certified public accountant, very successful, and he has served Rotary International as president, vice president, director, trustee, and district governor, and many other capacities. Wilf is a great supporter of our program, Polio Plus. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman of the Rotary Foundation, Wilf Wilkinson. Wilf, the floor is yours.
Rotarians, Rotaractors, Interactors, and friends of Rotary. Konnichiwa, yokosa. It's an honor to be here today as the chairman of our Rotary Foundation. You know, one of the biggest challenges I have is talking about our Rotary Foundation, but it's probably a good problem to have. Our foundation is so large, so diverse, and does so much good work that it's always hard deciding what to talk about. We have 6 areas of focus. We have 1,200,000 members, more than 34,000 clubs in most of the countries in the world. Sometimes you just don't know where to start. So as I was thinking about how I was going to narrow down that long list of things I wanted to say about our foundation to just 8 minutes. There's the clock up there. And that, of course, is a foundation for peace. Right away, I knew that today I was going to talk to you about Rotary's work to eradicate polio. Because of all of the projects and programs our foundation supports, the one that's probably done the most in the long term for a more peaceful world is Polio Plus. When we started working to eradicate polio back in the 1980s, polio was still paralyzing about 1,000 children every single day. About 350,000 children every year. We've now had well over 2 years of no cases of polio in India, bringing our list of polio endemic countries down to 3. And so far this year, we've had only 22 cases globally. And that's less than half as many as we had at this time a year ago. It is incredible progress. But right now, when things are going so well, your support of Polio Plus is more critical than ever before. Because right now, we have a chance of a lifetime, of 1,000 lifetimes, to end polio forever. But in order to do it, we're going to have to work harder than ever. We're going to have to close a funding gap that is still very significant. And we're going to have to secure the support of governments around the world to do what it will take to make a polio-free world. Polio right now is a global health emergency. It's an emergency not because polio cases are coming back up. It's an emergency because the time for massive action against polio is now. The opportunity that we've been working hard for so long, the chance to get rid of polio once and for all, is finally here. We always say that in any long race, the last mile is the hardest. Right now, we're running that last mile. We're working to eradicate polio from the poorest, most remote places, the places where children are the hardest to reach and the most at risk. We're doing everything we can to raise the resources for the surveillance and the monitoring of the National Immunization Days and for the mop-up campaigns. We're constantly working to keep polio at bay in the countries where it could easily return. Because until the last country is declared polio-free and the last wild polio virus is gone, that is the only way to keep all our children safe. If we can do it, if we keep going until we eliminate polio forever, we won't have to do anything anymore. We'll have no more polio immunization campaigns, no more fear of polio. Instead, we'll have a polio-free world. My friends, the success of the Global Polio Eradication Initiative shows beyond a doubt that there's nothing we can't do when we work together. When the goal is something that is so clearly in the best interest of every single child on this planet, we can overcome anything. We can overcome barriers of culture, of religion, of language, and conflict. We can organize national immunization days that vaccinate hundreds of millions of children in some of the most troubled and insecure regions of the world, securing government cooperation over some of the most hostile borders. And we can create one of the greatest miracles of polio eradication, days of tranquility, when those involved in armed conflict call a ceasefire to allow children access to health care, to save children from polio. We've convinced people to lay down their arms in Afghanistan, Southern Sudan, Somalia. That's something no one else has been able to do. And if that's not building a foundation for peace, I don't know what is. So what am I asking you to do today? Besides, of course, giving what you can through our Rotary Foundation. I'm asking you to advocate. Keep the momentum up. Get the word out. Make sure your club knows, and your community knows, and your elected representatives know that it's time to end polio now. The time is now. The opportunity is ours. By eradicating polio once and for all, we will truly be part of building a world of peace through our Rotary service. Arigato gozaimasu.